Meanwhile, it's day 2 of jury selection this morning in the Darrell Brooks trial. This after several outbursts and disruptions in court yesterday. Brooks is representing himself in the deadly holiday parade tragedy in Wisconsin. The judge had to take several breaks during day 1 of jury selection because Brooks kept, as predicted, interrupting her. She ended up putting him in another courtroom to watch the proceedings. Judge Jennifer Darrell warned Brooks that if it continues, that she could appoint an attorney to represent him in the case. Today, before being thrown out, or maybe he lasts the entire day. Let's talk about it with forensic psychiatrist and body language expert Dr. Carole Lieberman in Los Angeles. This is seemingly going to be a disaster. The idea that he's going to represent himself, he can't, day 1 of jury selection, Dr. Lieberman, when you look at Darrell Brooks, there's a level of mental illness there. I mean, come on, right? There's something going on, and he's got the attitude of, I don't care, and I'm going to disrupt this. Watch me do it. What are your takeaways when you look at his behaviors?
Yes, it's a combination of mental illness and a lack of course, sophistication in knowing how to be a lawyer. Anybody who represents themselves, it's usually ends up in a loss. They lose the case, and I don't know how. It boggles my mind how someone could have found him competent to stand trial. Clearly he's not, and he has this sort of idea that, well, if I just keep interrupting, I don't like what's going on, and so if I just keep interrupting and stopping this and saying, that then I won't be found guilty, or then, or at least I'll get all this attention for the whole trial, or a combination of all of these things. But I don't see how it's possibly going to work like this with him representing himself, and I think they need another psychiatrist to evaluate him.
Will be day 2 of this jury selection process. And Carole, this is probably not going to make it through day 2, right? I mean, after what we saw, not only day 1, but also in the pretrial appearances that he made with his attorney there, he was disruptive.
I mean, he's an angry man from the get-go. When his whole crime, and he had other crimes before that, domestic violence and various other crimes. So he's an angry man, and this is another way for him to be able to express his anger. The main thing was driving his car down the parade route, and now he's just continuing. He's angry at society. There are a lot of political things that he's angry about, and this is just his continuing, to strike out at society, and certainly to not get punished for what he believes and what he wants to do. And it's interesting. I think his mother coming in and asking that he not be allowed to represent himself, I think that was very interesting. And she realizes his deficiencies, that he's not going to be able to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. She warned the judge in a handwritten letter and urged the judge not to allow him to do this because of exactly what we're seeing play out here. Our Chanley Painter she'll be there today monitoring it. Again, no cameras allowed except for still photography during the jury selection process, but our team, along with Chanley, will update us throughout the day as that process begins. I want to thank Carole Lieberman for her time and expertise this morning. Always a pleasure. Thank you, Dr. Lieberman, for getting up so early for us. Appreciate it, as always.